Hi guys, this is Cetrez and I'm with Berserka. You'll find all tips and tricks, everything you should know about this new awesome TCS update. Allez, let's go. To begin this video for you bro, which is the best techniques to rush fast and easy the level 70? Do you have any tips or tricks to explain to us?
Yeah. The new changes with adding level 70, everyone being level 60 again, and then having to grind again. So anyone behind is just going to be even more lost, so to speak, now. So I think now's the best time to be helping all the beginner players.
Right. So your best tips for beginner player, which they are.
So I would say that the most ideal thing you need to do is always keep a track of your if you can't hit all the weekly objectives every time, that's fine. They're designed more for just helping you with your progress as you go along. When you are using soldiers, make sure that you fully understand their kit. So for example, Fixit is a very good character, but if used wrong, he is very underwhelming. So because of the fact that he can silence, you need to make sure that he's relatively close to the front line and being targeted by active abilities. Even if you don't want you see a soldier is using an active ability that will cause damage, moving him to the front before they can do that to silence it and then moving them back. Or similarly with new soldiers, if you don't fully understand their kit, you're not going to be using them right. So even if you have a character, say, that a lot of people are saying are good, so maybe Vasily or Fury, if you don't fully understand how to use them, they're not going to be great. So putting the time into that is utilizing your energy. So you don't have to min-max everything, but making sure that if you are at max energy, you don't let it sit there for too long. Making sure that you log in, I'd say every 6 to 7 hours when there is a Rivals event on. Obviously, if you are going to sleep, you can allow it to sit for an extra couple of hours. You don't have to be every energy used, but as much of it as you can is ideal. When you do the starting of the new account, you kind of want to make sure you use all your campaign energy, but you don't want to be spending gold on campaign energy, because although it helps you to speed up, how limited amounts you can earn on a free-to-play basis, you don't want to be wasting it on campaign. Ideally, you want to be saving it for the campaign events in the events section, or for rival events. Maybe arena if there's a character in.
For you, yeah, the best variable is campaign is more variable than rivals or arena, maybe in terms of free to play, in terms of reward.
So in terms of free-to-play rewards, I believe that arena is best for not spending gold. If you're maximizing your energy, the returns just for hitting elite alone, I believe is around 85 intel, plus whatever you earn along the way, which is around 50. So you will earn over 100 intel per arena cycle once you can hit 70,000 points. And that's not including the silver and the arena keys that it gives you, which are both very useful. But if you are looking to put gold into the events, I believe that the campaign events are the best ones to put the gold into, purely because you can target a particular soldier in the milestones, and they give you set amounts of the intel. But also the arena key, not the arena key, sorry, the particular faction keys can be used either on that particular soldier, so you can focus them even higher, or you can save them for a rivals event afterwards to also get another character that pairs well with that character.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a good answer. And for you, your best formation or composition of team is about 2 or 3 tanks, 1 or 2 DPS, and 1 support for maybe to win all your game and arena events. It's a good team formation.
Yes, I believe that depending on the availability and depending on the characters you're using, two tanks can be enough. However, often I prefer to have 3. They don't have the greatest amount of health, so you will need to be able to juggle the units accordingly. 1 or 2 DPS characters are preferred. If you can have 2 DPS and 2 tanks, then it's good. But if you're using 3 tanks because you need to juggle the health, then 1 will do fine, as long as you make sure that you're using them to target the weaker heroes first. And then you want to make sure you always have 1 form of support character that can provide either shield or healing. Like I said previously, the health is just not up to par at the earlier levels. So without healing, there are going to be certain missions that you just cannot get 3 stars on the nodes. And without the 3 stars, you can't auto farm them for gear, which is not ideal. You want to be able to maximize your time. So my ideal team currently is to use a compilation using Spetsnaz and also R6 Blue.
For you, the more easily famed operator that are more valuable to obtain in early game as free to play is R6 Blue or Spetsnaz, I think.
Yes, so they are very early access. So for example, I think the latest access you'll get to is in a team that I prefer to use as a free-to-play account at that level is Doc. I believe early game, the best characters to use are, like I said, R6 Blue and Spetsnaz. So early on in the tutorial, you will be able to unlock Montagne as a selection between 3 instant 4-star characters. So the selection will be between Weaver, Fei Lao, and Montagne. In terms of usability, both early game and late game, and Montagne is the best for all 3. He can be used for the Ash Legendary event, who is a very good legendary character. He's an amazing tank, one of the best ones in the game currently, and unlocking him at 4-star straight away is very useful. So in the team of R6 Blue, the most useful operators to use are Montagne and Doc. Doc will be a little bit later to unlock due to being gold prestige. He's going to be a little bit more time consuming. However, he is one of the better early game supports, and one of he has a revive, and when you partner him with Montagne, they get the Rainbow Six Blue perk, which allows the healing to be shared, which for a starter player, when you have low health on all your characters, is very, very useful.
Right, that's a good explanation, I think. For me, you speak about R6 Blue and Red Fang, Spetsnaz. It's 2 good squad and good squad perks too, yeah. About gear for you, could you explain to me and to viewer the usefulness of gearing up soldier?
Yes, of course. So gear is one of the best ways to level up your character's skill rating without having to spend money or gold on getting their stars up. The gear is not awfully important for like the first, I'd say, maybe 15, 16 levels. But once you're past level 20 and you can start joining a guild, that's when the gear becomes very important. You want to make sure that you are getting your territory war heroes and also your arena heroes to the highest levels of gear you possibly can. So, for example, around level 30, I would say you want to aim for all of these characters to be around gear level 6. As you approach, be around gear level 7 with 3 of the 4 pieces available. The 4th piece being the piece that you leave missing due to the purple toolkits, which are a little bit harder to get around then. As you approach level 50, they should be a bit more freely available. So aiming for gear level 9 is a bit more possible. And by level 60, you should be aiming for gear level 9 with 2 pieces as a minimum, and looking towards hopefully securing gear level 10. Now, I'm not sure exactly how it will work currently towards level 7, which is level 70. You would also be looking to get your characters to gear level 11 with as many pieces as you possibly can.
Right, that's good. Yeah, and for you, the best way to rush easy and fast the level 17 for as free to play. Could you explain that in your mind?
So currently, if you are looking to level up as fast as you possibly can, the most important things to do is to maximize your daily objectives. You cannot let any of those expire without being used. So what you want to make sure you do is when you log on, you take a look to see what you have and haven't done. You want to make sure you do a minute. It would be preferable to use all your arena energy, but if you're, say, busy that day, or you're just not the biggest fan of arena, 2 a day is perfectly fine, as you need to not only win a single arena match, but you need to defeat 10 opponents in arena. So as long as you win both of them, that's your daily objectives done. You want to make sure that you're using the campaign energy in the correct places. If you are maximizing your campaign energy, each energy relates to 1 XP. Now, if you're looking to progress a bit faster, want to skip you already have that hero, or maybe that's not necessary to you, you can use gold to buy more energy to get more XP faster, but I wouldn't recommend doing so, as it's not the most ideal way to do it. The best real ways to do so is just to make sure you're constantly beating new levels, as the first clear of new levels will give you 3 times the XP, and also making sure that you are joining a guild, as once you hit level 45, the Behemoth event will allow you more XP, not amazingly fast, but an extra couple hundred XP per week is still faster than if you were not in a guild and not participating in this event.
Yeah, the new events are pretty interesting for new player, and yeah, for all player too. I think new character like Clash, or maybe IQ, or some new Arceus Gold. I think it will be useful for future campaign, or new agents will be in the new meta. So do you prefer, or do you think that new agents will be good to farm too?
So I believe that the new agents are great to farm weekly objectives. So the weekly objectives obviously include stuff like arena fights and spending gold, rivals points, and donations. So these are 4 things that you would be doing anyway. You don't have to hit all the milestones. If you can't do all 175 arena fights, or you are free to play, you shouldn't be doing the 2,000 gold a week, realistically. So they're great to farm because of that. Also, like you said, some of the characters, they look very interesting. So Callie's abilities are an increased critical damage, and also critical damages can execute the opponents, which means that you're essentially getting the Red Fang and Iron Claw Spetsnaz perk in 1 unit. So if you can unlock them, it also allows a bit more maneuverability within your team, as you can replace those 2 if you have preferred units to use. Characters like IQ have similar abilities to fix it in the so she's also a counter to ability-based characters such as Sam Fisher, who is going to be prevalent in quite a lot of the campaigns, so she can be quite useful for that. So I think that when they add new characters like these, it's always great to take a look at them and to farm some of them at least, because even if they're not useful now, there's always a chance they'll be useful later.
Yeah, I'm agree with you, because new meta, next meta will be maybe about these new agents. So for you, the meta for now, for this moment, should be about which agents. Maybe you could speak about that, about your preferred team. Let's do that.
So for the current meta, I believe that there are probably a group of around 10 to 15 soldiers that are very, very useful. So mainly you will see teams that are pairing, and also Lian from the BHZ faction. So these 2 are a very powerful support unit, as Lian from the BHZ is one of the best healers, if not the best healer in the game, and also any shields on your characters will be turned to passive healing. Now, her being in your team alone activates the BHZ perk, which means that periodically throughout time, the lowest soldier will get a shield, meaning that you're guaranteed healing just with her in the team. But paired with Anna, who has, it's almost like having 2 healers within the team, but also Anna boosting the ability power of your soldiers, really means that it's not only a support unit, but it's also an amazing healing unit and an amazing unit for damage, because you're boosting the output of your other damage dealers. Another great duo to use is Fury and Vasily. They're currently high up in the meta, and another duo that I use frequently. This is because they're both in the section, and they both have intimidating perks. So they, being as a duo, they both trigger extra damage by the Ghost Recon perk, as that does extra weapon damage, and the intimidating perk will be triggered as well, which allows you to use ability power and increases it by a decent amount if they're above 75% health. So that's another great duo to use. Adding a soldier like Fix-It or Weaver is also somewhat useful, as it adds the silver tier, as it's a third Ghost Recon Nomad character, and increases the damage tier, as he has the ability to shut down a bit other your enemy's abilities, and also because he has just an amazing AoE damage. Other soldiers that are useful outside of that, tanks like Montaña and El Sueño. They're very hard to kill, as they have high armor and high health, so you can easily slot soldiers behind those. And besides that, you also have the Spetsnaz characters. I believe that any sort of combination of Spetsnaz characters is viable for high-end arena, and also a full Spetsnaz team with the full perks for all the executes are amazing for high-end teams as well, as it just makes a lot of them a breeze.
These Spetsnaz perks are pretty good, pretty interesting, because these perks is pretty awesome when you could kill some enemies. So I think it's a good current meta team, but maybe Lian is pretty interesting, but she is quite difficult to farm. Maybe you could change Lian by which agents do you think for free to play?
So Lian is your team's healer. If you are a healer, one of the best ones you can go for currently is Doc, because he has an amazing single stim, and also he has a revive, which there are very few characters that have so. However, no healers really are on the level of Lian, so it's never going to have the same results. There are other healers, of course, like Pedriel and Finka, who can do an okay job in healing the team, but they're never going to be the exact same. So I would say, if you can't, you either want to add Doc for the revive and the decent healing, or you would like to add another tank such as Sueño, Montaña, maybe even Holt if you have them, although he may be a bit harder to farm for some people. This is just because adding an extra tank means you have more health, and it's more survivability of the team. In Arena, you don't need to consistently win with all 5 characters alive, you just need to win with at least one. So not having a healer in Arena isn't the end of the world.
That's great. That's very interesting. Good highlights, yeah. So I think we have a push. We have make the round of the video maybe. Do you have any suggestion or maybe tips to add at the end of this video, or it's good for you?
Off the top of my head, tips now. I think the best thing to do is just to always keep track of the the rewards guide for the level, like the reward path. Making sure you're aware of what's on the way, because they give decent amounts of soldiers. They also give decent amounts of gear and orb keys. Making sure you know which ones are on the way and which ones are close is always useful, because it means you can potentially plan ahead of your time. For example, if you know you're getting Red Fang at level 30, you recommend using your Territory War or Arena keys to focus one particular useful soldier each time until they are a decent start. And then if you want to go for max intel rewards, the orbs are brilliant to open for value. They will assign random characters, which is why I prefer not to go for them. I prefer to use Territory War keys for Fix-It or El Nomad, and Arena keys I prefer to put into Ironclaw or Arrow. However, if you are looking for maximum rewards as a free-to-play player, the orbs are brilliant rewards and are always worth opening until you have 1 or 2 of the characters at maxed level. Once that's the case, then you should only use them for single targeting the particular operators.
Right. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's good. Yeah, thanks for all these tips. It's pretty interesting. I think for new player and for as well new free-to-play player. So thanks a lot for your participation. And I think we will see maybe in the next video for more tips for new campaign or new events in the future. See you. Bye bye.